And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the starting laps tonight for your Hayes Larks. Leading off and playing center field, number 8, Leo Geminian. Batting second and playing second base, number 2, Grant Lung. Batting third at designated hitter, number 16, Wyatt Davis. Batting fourth and catching, number 27, Jacob Wyatt. Batting fifth at first base, your beverage batter for tonight, number 29, Corbin Truslow. Batting sixth in left field, number 17, Cameron Pearson. Batting seventh at shortstop, number 3, Matt Cavanaugh. Batting eighth in right field, number 18, Sean Cooper. And batting ninth at third base, number 4, Palmer Hutchison. And tonight's starting pitcher, number 12, Drew Burr. And in his 38th season with the Larks, please welcome the head coach, Mr. Frank Leo. Larks pitching coach is Keith Harper, and assistant coach, Bryce Baumwart. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 Hayes Larks. And now, ladies and gentlemen.
Baseball, America's pastime. A sport we've been long awaiting to come back. The sport we've missed dearly. But tonight, that waiting ends. No more empty stadium. No more lifeless fields. Tonight, everything changes.
English rounds, third, heads home, he'll score, walk-off single for Wyatt Davis. Grand slam for George Sutherland. It's the first home run of the season for De Leon.
The Larks are back in action. The best show in town returns. The landmark where icons have played. Tonight, Larks Park is back. This team is more than baseball. It's part of this community, a staple of our town. Generations gather together. The fans, the players, the coaches, all come together to this diamond. All come together for this team. All a part of this remarkable experience. Sure, we have a lot of fun. But legacy is built right here in the Great Plains. See, there's something special in Hayes, something distinct in this city. With history dating back to 1869, a history of success, 29 MLB products, 4 MLB All-Stars. That outstanding tradition returns tonight. Tonight, the Larks return to action. Tonight, baseball is back.
All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Game 17 of your 2020 Hayes Larks season. This is Game 2 of a two-game series against the Colorado Sox. The Larks come into this one 12-4. Drew Burr on the mound for Hayes. He's a freshman out of St. Louis. His first delivery misses the zone 1-0. Leading off for Colorado is Cody Schultz, the shortstop. 1 ball, 1 strike after a heater from Drew Burr finds its way into the strike zone. The Larks are on a 6-game winning streak. They're tied with the Denver Cougars for first place in the league. The Sox are 7-9, and they're 5 games back in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. 1-2, Burr will go from the windup. It's grounded to Palmer Hutchison in the hot corner. It goes between his legs and under his glove. It'll be an E5, and Cody Schultz moves to second base. So already a runner on scoring position for Drew Burr. Burr comes in this game 1-2 in 5 appearances. This one his 6th. It's just his second start. His first 4 appearances were in relief. Has gone 15 1/3 innings and has struck out 15 and only walked 4. He'll get a look at Trey Adams, the third baseman who moved up in the lineup after batting third yesterday. Larks won yesterday 6-1, and Trey Adams went 1 for 4 with a strikeout. Adams is an infielder out of Mesa State University. Slider from Drew Burr misses just outside, ran a bit too far, 1-0. Drew Burr has an ERA of 4.1 and a whip just over 1. The 2 losses he has, really only one of those you could say was partly his fault, but the other one he just inherited a bad situation. Some tough plays for the fielders just put a loss in his record. He's going to Bellarmine University this fall, their first year in the NCAA Division I. 2-1 reads a scoreboard here at Larks Park. Burr made 2 appearances for the Billikens in the Atlantic 10 Conference, striking out 3 guys and only walking 1. Runner tries to advance to third base. Jacob Wyeth will try to gun him down. He'll be aboard, moving 90 feet, and he's 90 feet from getting the Sox' first run of the game. Defensively for Hayes, it's Cameron Pearson in left field, Leo Jiminian in center, Sean Cooper in right field, Corbin Truslow and Grant Lung on the right side of the infield, and Matt Cavanaugh and Palmer Hutchison on the left side. The 3-1 delivery from Drew Burr misses the zone, second straight base runner for the Sox to start this game. Runners on the corners with nobody out in the top of the first. Move to the 3-hole, Nolan Ackerman, the catcher, who had a couple of hits last night in 4 plate appearances, also struck out. And the Larks' 2 games versus the Colorado Sox in Colorado, he drew 5 walks. Burr delivers a fastball, painting the outside corner. No, they'll say it went outside. Umpire having a tough strike zone on the righty. Umpires tonight are Shane Wiggett behind the plate and then Matthew Wiggett on the base paths. Burr looks over his shoulder, will check over at the runner on first, who's sliding in safely. Drew Burr has 1 pickoff attempt that was successful this year. It was in a key situation where getting that runner out was very important. He's very quick with it, has quick movement, turns his shoulders very fast, and the ball is to Truslow very quick. The runner this time just had a better read on it. 2 balls, no strikes. Burr will need to hit the strike zone in this one. Burr, utility guy, he's seen action in left field at first base, in the middle of the infield, and on the mound. There was a changeup high and above the letters, 3-0. Jacob Wyeth is tonight's catcher. Max McGuire started yesterday. Again, they're alternating. Wyeth has headed to Louisiana State University to play for the LSU Tigers after playing 2 years for Cisco Community College. 2 balls, 1 strike. And this one is hit over to the Sox dugout and out of play. Count now moves to 2-2. On deck is Hank Bard, in the hole, Owen Reynolds. It's Schultz on third base for Colorado, Adams on first base. The Indiana native looks over his shoulder at the runner, goes from the stretch, and it's going to be a check swing for Ackerman that he pops off the middle of his bat and to the net. We'll stay at 2-2 for pitch number 6 of this at-bat. In the Larks win yesterday, Ryan Reuter got the credit for it. Patty Walsh came in relief, and so did Cole Zimmerman, all 3 guys, Fort Hays State University Tigers. We'll stay at 2-2. Reuter went 5 innings strong, only allowing 3 hits and striking out 4. No earned runs or runs scored off of him. Runner takes off from first. It's grounded to Palmer Hutchison, who again struggles with it. It's off his glove and it rolls into left field. That'll put a runner on first and a run to come around to score. Ackerman has an RBI, and scoring is Schultz. It is ruled a hit. Questionable call there, but nonetheless, we'll put it in the hit column. 1-0 lead now for Colorado, their first lead of the series. Jacob Wyeth gives some signs to his defense with, again, runners on the corners and nobody out. Adams at third base, Ackerman at first, Bard at the dish. Against Reuter, Walsh, and Zimmerman yesterday, Bard went 2 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. 0-1 on the first baseman. Bard plays at McLennan Community College, teammates with Larks pitcher Brady Rose. Bard delivers a fastball painting the outside top corner, gets it in the zone for a called strike 2. Stand up to cancer night here at Larks Park. Larks sporting the white home pants, normal red and blue caps, but they have their special pink jerseys on tonight with the blue lettering. Fastball is high and outside. We'll go 1-2. Juber has now allowed 14 hits this season, but that run that scored was not earned. That's the 9th run that's come across him, only 7 earned. This one's popped over the grandstand and into the parking lot. We'll stay again at 1-2. Decent turnout here at Larks Park. Not as many fans as were here yesterday, but it is a Sunday night. It's hot out, and it's sent to right center field, and there will be a runner on first and another runner advancing to third base. Kavanaugh tries to throw him out. Palmer Hutchison grabs it, and he'll throw the runner out trying to get to second base, and Grant Lung applied the tag when the runner still had a foot to go to the base. And that is a questionable call. That looked like we were going to have the first out of the inning. But there is 2 on, both in scoring position, nobody out. Sox up by 2. It's a single for Bard. Ackerman to third base, scoring is Adams. That's the first earned run for Juber. First pitch, a changeup, gets a swing and a miss as Reynolds swings above it. It's 0-1. Again, hot night here in Hays with the wind moving in from left field that he can get to on the mound, especially in long innings, so Drew Burr will want to get these next 3 outs quick. Fastball is hit to the backstop. We'll go to no balls and 2 strikes. On deck is Kian Manmano and the hole Jacob Pagatti. In Drew's last appearance, it was against the Collegians on Wednesday. He went 5 innings picking up the start and picked up his first win, going 5 innings and only allowing 6 hits and striking out 3. He hit switch, but tonight he won't get any plate appearances. He did hit last night for Hays, getting the start in left field. He went 0 for 2 with a strikeout and then was pinch hit for by Jace Armstrong. The 1-2 delivery is sent over towards the Larks bullpen on the ground. We'll stay at 1-2 for pitch number 5. Reynolds last night pinch hit for Hunter Jackson and drove in the only run of the game for the Sox. 5 pitches, 1 strikeout for Drew Burr, and that's out number 1 of the inning. Strikeout number 16 through Drew Burr through 15 and 2/3 innings. 2 in scoring position, 1 away to Kian Manmano, the left fielder. He's seen action in the infield against Hayes, and now he's getting the start in the outfield. Last night he went 0 for 4 against, again, Walsh, Reuter, and Zimmerman. Changer from Drew Burr called strike. He's hitting the zone here, starting to settle into a rhythm and get some composure and confidence back. He's been a confident pitcher and has seemed to always keep his composure, and no doubt he'll bounce back and look for smooth sailing the rest of the game. Goes from the stretch, and it's popped over the first base coach's head into the Sox' bullpen, 0-2. Burr delivers. It's a fastball below the knees. That's swung on a miss. Jacob Wyeth picks it up and tags Manmano. He's now 0 for 5 on this series with 2 strikeouts. Back-to-back strikeouts for Drew Burr makes it 2 away with 2 on. Burr pitched against the Sox on July 3rd. He went 3 1/3 innings in relief in a game that the Larks ended up losing 9-7, but Drew had a good appearance through 3 1/3, striking out 6, no earned runs, and only 2 hits. Now to Jacob Pagani, the right fielder. Righty versus righty. Burr hits the zone on a fastball, 0-1. Pagani 1 for 4 last night with a strikeout. The 0-1 delivery, a slider catching the outside part of the plate, 0-2. Burr throws strikes at about 64% of his pitches and starts opponent at bats with first pitch strikes about 55% of the time. And when he does start them with a first pitch strike, 75% of the time they end up getting out. It's the first ball of the at-bat. It drops to the turf, and Wyeth drops to his knees to block it. We'll move to 1-2. Due up for Hayes in the bottom of the inning is Leo Jominian, Grant Lung, and Wyatt Divis. Burr takes a look at the runner at third, delivers one that's sent into center field. It drops in front of Leo Jominian. One scores. The runner is sent home from third. The throw from Jominian wild. It gets past Jacob Wyeth, and Drew Burr is there to back him up, but it goes past him, and the runner moves to third. It is a 2 RBI single for Pagani, his second hit of this series, and the Sox are up by 4. So the first 4 guys in the order each have scored for Colorado. Tough turn of events for the Austin, Indiana native after being 1 strike away from stranding 2 in scoring position and sending us to the bottom half of the inning. 1 swing makes it a 4-0 game. He'll go from the windup now, and this one is in the left-hander's batter's box, 1-0. Burr's a 2-time All-State player in Indiana, was ranked the 4th best shortstop in the state by perfect game. Was the 2019 District Player of the Year before committing to St. Louis University. 2-0. Talking to him on the last road series, was talking about his transfer to Bellarmine as he gets a swing and a miss. Just said he wanted to be closer to home. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. He's from the southern part of Indiana, and he seems to be excited about joining the program there. It's a good program, and we'll see how they adjust to the jump to the D1 level. Fastball from Burr at the knees over the plate for a called strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A runner on third base in the top of the first. Larks trailing the Sox 4-0. He goes from the windup, and a changeup gets a half a swing, but it's a strikeout nonetheless. Drew Burr gets all 3 outs to be strikeouts, and that sends us to the bottom half of the inning after the Sox get 4 against the Larks. Bottom of the first here from North Central Kansas. Leading it off will be Leo Geminian. Taylor Dye was listed as a starting pitcher for the Sox. He won't make an appearance. Instead, they'll go with the Cloud County right-hander, Patrick Kennedy. His first delivery to the French center fielder misses the zone 1-0. On deck is Grant Lung in the hole, Wyatt Divis for Hayes. He'll go from the stretch, throws a rainbow pitch above the letters to Leo. 2-0. Leo in last night's game was again the leadoff hitter, went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. He takes this one in the zone over the inside part of the plate for a called strike. 2-1. This is the Larks' first look at Kennedy. They had seen their original starting pitcher Taylor Dye before. He threw 6 innings on July 2nd in the Larks' 3-7 loss. Hitters counts for the center fielder out of Clarendon College. Throws a fastball below the knees and off the glove of Ackerman. Leo Geminian is aboard with a walk. Third straight time he reaches base in this series. So we'll move to Grant Lung, tonight's second baseman. Grant yesterday 1 for 4 with a walk and a run scored. Leo Geminian just picked up walk number 11 on the season. That is third on the team. Called strike on Lung on the first delivery. Lung, the second baseman, an Arizona native, plays at the University of Sioux Falls. Kennedy takes a look over at Geminian, who has speed. He leads the team in stolen bases, is the only guy in double digits. But he'll stay at first, and Grant Lung swings at this one and misses it. He's down the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy looks again at Geminian, ignores him, goes from the stretch. Lung pops this one up as Leo was taking off. It's towards the backstop, and it'll bounce into the grandstand. So close one there, right into the fans. Grant protects the plate there, and will stay at 0-2 for pitch number 4 of the at-bat. So now we'll see if Kennedy is a little bit more aware of Leo Geminian after seeing him try and steal a base. He goes to Lung, and it's a 4-pitch strikeout, 1 away in the bottom of the first. 1 away, runner on first. We move to the 3-hole, Wyatt Divis. Second game this series at DH. He went 1 for 3 yesterday with a run scored and also picked up a walk in that 6-1 win. Check over at Geminian. He slides in head first safely. Patrick Kennedy's first look at Divis this season. Leo Geminian takes off from first, and he's going to be gunned down. That is a rarity to see him get thrown out. He's stolen 11 times this season, and that's just the second time he's been caught. So now the bases are empty to Wyatt Divis. Score didn't change after the first delivery. Righty versus lefty. Divis sends it in the gap in right field. Had Leo been safe, potentially could have scored him. He has a lot of speed, but I imagine he would have been held up at third base as it moved quick to Pagani and right. So now to Jacob Wyatt, the cleanup hitter. The LSU commit is tonight's starting catcher. He'll step into the box. didn't play in yesterday's game. Max McGuire picked up the start. And he grounds his first pitch to the shortstop Schultz, who throws on a hop like Derek Jeter and throws out Jacob Wyatt. Larks get a hit, a walk, but they leave a runner on to end the first. They're down 4-0 against Colorado as we move to the second inning on Larks Network. Top of the second, bottom of the order for the Sox. Leading off will be Hunter Jackson. It's the second baseman. He pumps his first delivery out of play 0-1. Sox got 4 and they batted 8 in the first. Jackson yesterday started in the middle of the infield, went 0 for 2 with a strikeout. He pops one to Palmer Hutchison for out number 1 of the inning. Drew Burr has retired 2 straight. So moving to the top of the order, Cody Schultz, who reached on an error and was an E5. He came around to score off the bat of Nolan Ackerman. Drew Burr has allowed 3 hits, all singles. He nods at his catcher, Jacob Wyatt, and as soon as Schultz is ready, he delivers one above the letters. 1-0. Schultz from Metro State University. 1-0, a changeup pop backwards, 1-1. On deck is Trey Adams in the hole, Nolan Ackerman. The first 4 guys in the order for the Sox in inning number 1 all reached base and all came around to score. 2-1. One becomes a hitter's count, 3-1 to Schultz after a fastball runs outside. Burr has held his opponents to a batting average of .224, and he gets a pop fly out of Schultz into center field. Jiminian moves in and secures it. 2 up, 2 down for Drew Burr and the Larks in the second. Now to Trey Adams, who walked in the first and then came around to score off the bat of Hank Bard. When balls are put in play against Drew Burr, his defense has helped him out, and opponents have been held to a .302 batting average in that. Drew's about 50-50 when balls are put in play, about 50% fly balls and about 50% ground balls. A dropping breaking ball, a close one to the zone. Umpire says it dropped too low, too late. The 1-0 pitch is into the strike zone, a straight fastball painting the bottom inside corner. Scoreboard now changes. Grant Long playing closer to first base with a little bit of a shift on the righty. Two balls, one strike on the 2-hole third baseman. Swings at one inside and above the letters and misses under it. Drew Burr makes his way into a 2-2 count. He's struck out 3 already. All 3 of those were in the first. The 2-2 delivery with 2 outs is sent to Grant Long, who moves to his right, shuffles and throws to Truslow, and Drew Burr has a 1-2-3 second. We move to the bottom half. Larks down by 4. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game. Bottom of the second here from Hays, Kansas. Leading it off is going to be the 5-hole tonight's beverage batter and the first baseman, Corbin Truslow out of Fort Hays State University. Played 2 years at Garden City and then transferred to Fort Hays upon graduating from the community college. First delivery from Patrick Kennedy misses 1-0. Larks got 4 guys to come to the plate, got 1 hit, and left a guy on in the first. Kenny delivers a slow changeup outside, 2-0 to Big Truss. Corbin yesterday 1 for 4 with an RBI against Katron Hayen on the mound for the Sox. Sox pitched 2 guys, and their loss. Hays pitched 3. 3 straight balls to Truslow, the leadoff hitter of the bottom of the second. Larks down by 4. Takes all the way, and he's aboard with a 4-pitch walk, the second walk of the day for Hays, both leading off the inning. So we'll move to Cameron Pearson. Due up is Kavanaugh, Cooper, and Hutchison for Hays. Truslow a small lead at first base for the first baseman. Pearson, the left fielder, takes an inside delivery 1-0. He's been on a hot streak. Yesterday, Cam had an RBI in his 1-4 game. Hit 4 home runs against the Collegians in 4 games. He sends a pop fly a mile high into shallow center field. Reynolds sprints towards it, and Schultz finally adjusts, and they're going to get a double play had the throw been accurate, and Truslow is back safely. It was a poor read from Schultz, at shortstop, who gave up on the play, and then when he saw Reynolds having to sprint in, he finally made the adjustment and made a basket catch on it. So thanks to the errant throw, Corbin is still aboard. One away to Matt Cavanaugh. Larks have one hit. The Sox have 3. Larks have an error, and there is none for Colorado. First delivery to Cavanaugh, a fastball for a called strike. Patrick Kennedy on the mound from Parker, Colorado, plays for the Thunderbirds at Cloud County. He didn't pick up any appearances for the T-Birds this last season. 0-2 to Cavanaugh after a ground ball, bounces into the Larks dugout. Matt yesterday went 1 for 3 with a run scored, a walk, and an RBI. No balls, 2 strikes, and all speed is sent to him. He waits on it, pops it into right field. Pagani moves towards it, it drops, and Truslow has a good read on this one. He's able to advance to second base. First hit of the inning for Hayes. Truslow to second, Cavanaugh at first, Sean Cooper to the plate. One away in the bottom of the second. Runner on first and second. Cooper batted 7th in the lineup yesterday. Today he's in the 8th spot. He went 2 for 2 yesterday with a walk and RBI, and he also scored a run. He's one of only 2 guys in last night's game that scored and drove in a run. The other one for Hayes is aboard at first base. No change in the scoreboard after the first delivery. Kennedy looks in. Ackerman for the Sox gives him the sign. Get a nod out of Kennedy and a ball below the knees of Sean Cooper. 2 balls, no strikes on the Cochise College Apache. This is game 2 of a 2-game series against the Sox. Larks won game number 1. And this is the 5th straight game here in Hayes. We'll get tomorrow off, and then as for the games Tuesday and Wednesday, it is still up in the air as to whether they will happen. 3-0, Schultz comes in and talks to Kennedy. Defensively for the Sox, it's Manmano, Reynolds, and Pagani in the outfield. Bard, Jackson, Schultz, and Adams on the turf infield, and Ackerman behind the dish, Kennedy on the rubber. First delivery to Sean Cooper, and the second one and the third one and the fourth one all missed the zone. He's aboard with a 4-pitch walk, the second walk of the inning for Hayes, the third of the game. Corbin Truslow to third base, Matt Cavanaugh to second, Cooper to first. Palmer at the bottom of the order. He's tonight's starting third baseman. Didn't appear in last night's ballgame at the plate. He did come into the 9th inning and field. 1-0 is the count on Hutch. On deck at the top of the order, Leo Jeminian and the whole Grant Lung. Kennedy has thrown 6 straight balls to Hayes, and Hutch is up in the count 2-0. Hutchinson, a 6'2 freshman from Hayes, Kansas, plays at Kansas City, Kansas Community College for the Blue Devils. 2-0, bases loaded, 1 away in the bottom of the second. Larks down by 4 against the Colorado Sox. After 6 straight balls, this one drops into the zone, 2-1. And umpire holds up a 1-2 count. Kennedy gets his grip, goes from the stretch. Hutchison protects and pops it out of the play. Will stay at 1-2. Umpire holds up the 1-2 counts. Hutchison batting .211 on the season with an OBP of .392. Has 8 hits, 6 singles, 2 doubles. A pass ball is off the chest protector of Ackerman, but the runners stay where they're at. Now we're at 2-2. Larks left one guy on base in the first. They had a walk in the single, and a strikeout and a caught stealing. The 2's delivery to Hutchison, 2/3 of a swing. He goes around, and he is out for the first time tonight. So the Larks now move to the top of the order. Base is still loaded with two-way to Leo Jeminian. Jeminian walked to start off the bottom of the first and then was thrown out trying to advance to second base. Just the second time he's been thrown out this season. He has a batting average of .263, has scored 17 times. That's second for the team lead behind Grant Lung, just 1 behind him. He's been hit by a pitch 4 times and driven in 3 runs. It's odd that you see a guy been hit more times than runs driven in, but Leo at the top of the order hasn't inherited a lot of runners in scoring position. 1-0 is the count. He sends one into right center field. Reynolds and Pagani move towards it. Pagani calls off the center fielder. With the bases loaded and 1 away, Larks have back-to-back outs, and that'll end the second. They trail against the Sox by 4. Larks lead the bases loaded in the second, and we move to the third, and leading off is going to be the catcher, the 3-hole Nolan Ackerman, 1 for 1 today with an RBI and a run scored. Had that single with nobody out in the first. Strike 1 to him at the knees. Burr has retired 4 straight, and he's hit the zone a lot in the second inning, and now here in the third. Thrown 1 pitch, he'll throw the second one. This one again over the plate, just dropped low, 1-1. Due up is Bard, Reynolds, and Manmano following Ackerman. One is popped over the right side, out of play, 1-2. $4-0 lead for the Sox. They had a 4-run and 8-batter first. They went down in order in the second. This one lined at Corbin Truslow. He secures it on a hop for out number 1. Burr retiring 5 straight. Now to Hank Bard, the first baseman for Colorado. He singled as well in the first, also drove in a run, and scored one as well. Palmer Hutchison in the hot corner playing in as the ball misses the zone 1-0. Due up for Hayes in the bottom of the inning is Lung, Divis, and Wyeth. 1-0 from Burr, popped to the backstop, 1-1. Two balls and one strike on Bard after this one runs outside. One away, bases empty in the third inning. Hayes down against Colorado, 4-0. Hitters counts for the cleanup hitter. Colorado does not list stats on Game Changer for their players, but Bard did go 2 for 3 yesterday according to the Larks stats. Fly ball out of play will go to a full count. In Bard's second game against Hayes, he went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in Colorado. And in game 1 against Hayes on July 2nd, he had 4 strikeouts and 5 plate appearances. He has now struck out 7 times. 8 times actually now. After that one, Drew Burr picks up strikeout number 4 of the day and number 19 on the season. He's retired 6 straight Sox. 2 away, bases empty in the top of the third. Burr goes from the windup, a changeup hangs in the air and then drops in front of the plate into the zone, 0-1. Owen Reynolds on the day struck out looking against Drew Burr for out number 1 of the first inning. Drew's delivery is off the turf, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Count knotted up. Burr goes from the windup, and his delivery is inside, but we get a check swing, and they will say it caught the inside part of the plate. Drew takes a moment to compose himself, takes a deep breath, and gets a swing and a miss. He struck out 2 straight, 5 on the day, number 20 on the season. So after having a little bit of struggles to start the game, he's been in a groove and has retired 7 straight. We move to the latter half of the third. The Larks down by 4. Bottom half of the third here in Hayes. Leading it off will be Grant Lung, who is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the in the first. He's a second baseman batting in the 2-hole. This delivery from Kennedy hits the turf before it even reaches the brown part of the turf, way out in front of the plate. 1-0 on the second baseman. Grant batting .386. He's second on the team behind Jacob Wyeth, but Lung has played in 6 more games. Lung also tied with Jacob Wyeth in RBIs, but he does hold the team lead for runs scored with 18. 2 balls, no strikes on tonight's second baseman. Started every game that he's played in at second base. He's up in the count 3-0. On deck is Wyatt Divis in the hole, Jacob Wyeth. Kennedy's going to have to face some talented batters here in the third, up by 4. Goes from the windup, 4-pitch walk, the third straight inning, and all 3 that Hayes has started off with a leadoff walk. Runner on first, nobody out to Wyatt Divis. He reached base on a single in the first inning. Wyatt batting .327 this season, has drawn 16 walks and has scored just as many times. Kennedy's second look at him. His first pitch, Divis is real early on and sends it backwards towards the Larks dugout. 0-1. Divis holds half of the team hits tonight with that single in the first. The only other hit came from his teammate at UTA, Matt Cavanaugh. The 0-1 to Divis inside in the batter's box at his feet. 1-1. On deck is Jacob Wyeth. In the hole is Corbin Truslow for your Larks. Kennedy looks in, gets a sign from Ackerman, gets his grip, looks over his shoulder at Lung, and then elects to throw at Truslow, and he slides in headfirst safely. Grant picked up walk number 15 on the season. That's second on the team behind the guy at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike to Divis. This is Divis' 3rd year with the Larks. Last year he was first team All-League in the KCLB, led the Hayes Larks in wins on the mound, and was the KCLB co-pitcher of the year. Two and 1 over the inside part of the plate. Divis takes it looking, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Grant Lung at first base. Larks will get tomorrow off. Potentially they will get Tuesday and Wednesday off. We'll get a decision on those games tomorrow. Davis hits a pop fly to right field, and Pagani takes a few steps back and makes the catch for out number 1. 1 away with a runner on first to Jacob Wyeth. He's tonight's starting catcher. He grounded out to Schultz at the shortstop spot to end the first inning. Leads the team in batting average, tied for the team lead in RBIs. Takes his first delivery outside and high, 1-0. There's a point when Jacob Wyeth led the team in home runs. That was until Cam Pearson passed him, picking up 4 in 1 series. Wyeth had 2 in 1 game. He has 3 total on the season. Swings at this one, is under it, pops it back and up. 1-1. Kennedy in his 3rd inning of work has allowed 2 hits, and he has walked 4. Looks over at Grant Lung with a average lead at first base. Goes to Wyeth, off speed inside. 2 balls and 1 strike on the catcher from Texas. Jacob, a 6'2 sophomore, said to LSU he still has 2 years of eligibility left for the Tigers. He's originally from Lake Travis, Texas. He's a switch hitter. This one he's hitting from the right side. Played in 11 games for the Wranglers at Cisco College this last season. Had a batting average of .433. gets a pop-up for out number 2. Two away, runner on first to Corbin Truslow. Truslow 0 for 0 on the day, walking in the second, reaching third, and then was stranded there, ending the second. His second plate appearance in 2 innings. Truslow, a powerful hitter, has 1 home run on the season. He's driven in 13, batting .370, has a slugging percentage of .463. Righty versus lefty, the delivery to Truslow outside, 1-0. Truslow, a 6'1 junior, played in 24 games, starting all of them for Fort Hays this year. Picked up 17 RBIs off of 23 hits. 3 of those were home runs. Kennedy delivers to him, and it's going to be off his front hamstring. A pitch that he didn't even move on. Took it right there, toughens it up, and moves to first base. That is the 4th time Corbin Truslow has been plunked this season. He's now tied for the team lead and hit by pitches. Just a fun stat category to lead the team in. He's aboard for the 2nd time tonight. 2 plate appearances and no at-bats. Long moves to second base. It's Truslow at first. Pearson picks up a single into left field. Runners advance 90 feet. The base is loaded for the 2nd straight inning for Hays. The Larks will look to do better than they did in the 2nd. They left the bases loaded. They had the bases loaded with only 1 out and then a strikeout and a flyout into the inning. So now to Matt Kaff, who's 1 for 1 on the day. He's riding a hit streak and a hot streak at the plate. He'll look to pick up his 2nd RBI of the series with the bases loaded, and there's 2 outs. Long at third, Truslow at second, Pearson at first. Pearson now is 1 for 2 on the day. Inside to Matt Kaff makes it 1-0. Larks scoreless. They left 4 guys on base in the first 2 innings. Movement in the pen for Hays. It is a righty. Cavanaugh grounds to the other shortstop who has a tough play on it, and he was slow to it like he was getting ready to toss to Jackson, and then after he dropped it, Cavanaugh was aware of the situation and it reaches on an E6 and picks up RBI number 2 of this series. Pearson to second, Truslow to third. Scoring is Grant Lung, extending his team leading run score. Cavanaugh picked up RBI number 9 on the season. Lung scored for the 19th time. So Larks pick up their first run here in the 3rd inning. Looking to continue what's happening, this 2-out rally, is Sean Cooper, who takes a first pitch fastball high and outside. Frustrating turn of events for Kennedy. It looked like he was going to get an inning-ending ground out. Instead, he has to go back to the mound and face the Larks right fielder. Cooper walked in the 2nd to make the bases loaded, and then again was stranded there. Fouls this one off of Ackerman. Will go to 1-1. It appears to be Wyatt Divis in the pen for Hays. The 1-1 delivery to Cooper at his eye level over the middle part of the plate, 2-1. On deck is Palmer Hutchison in the hole, Leo Jiminian. This is the 7th guy the Larks have brought to the plate this inning. And combined with the last one, they brought 15 to the plate. Hitters count now for the right fielder. He drove in 11 runs for the Apaches this last season at Cochise College. On 15 hits, he scored 13 times. He has the bases loaded with the 2 away, and he has a hitter's count, and he grounds one right past Kennedy, who is visibly frustrated as the runner, Cam Pearson, will be held at third base, but scoring is Truslow in. Good sign for the Larks, bad sign for the Sox. as Kennedy's been out there in the heat, and he has the bases loaded, and he just looked frustrated, slapped his glove, and wisely, the pitching coach for the Sox is going to come out and talk to him. You don't want your pitcher to show signs like that. You want them to be able to just move on to the next batter. But the Larks have cut the lead in half, and we'll take a quick pause for the mound meeting. Sean Cooper just picked up his 8th RBI of the season, and scoring for the 10th time was Corbin Truslow. This inning, runs have come from the legs of Lung and Wyeth and off the bats of Pearson and Cooper. Hutchison has his count at 1-0. It's Pearson at third base. At second base is Matt Cavanaugh, and at first base is Sean Cooper. He's aboard for the second time tonight. Hutchison hits a pop fly straight up. Ackerman throws his mask, moves to the Schumacher-Nelson side, and falls backward as he secures the catch for out number 3. Larks leave the bases loaded again for the second straight inning, but they cut the lead against Colorado in half. They're down 4-2 as we move to the 4th on Larks Network. Top of the 4th here from North Central Kansas. Drew Burr back to the mound and gets a whiff off of Kian Manmano. Burr has retired 7 straight. He's settled into a rhythm and gets one lined right at his ankles, and it's into center field. And Manmano is aboard for the first time tonight. Runner on first, nobody out to Jacob Bugatti, who singled in the first, driving in Ackerman and Bard. That is the 4th hit of the game for the Sox. All of them are singles. Larks down 2-4 here against Colorado. Scoring 2 in the 3rd. And this one is grounded up the middle, just what Drew Burr wanted a ground ball towards the middle of the infield, but this shift still couldn't manage for one that was sent right at the bag and into center field.
Designated hitter number 14, Tyler Schultz.
So no double play, and there's 2 on with nobody else. Now to Tyler Schultz, the DH in the 8 hole, struck out to end the top of the 1st inning against Drew Burr. Burr takes a look at the runner at second, goes from the stretch. A changeup drops into the zone, 0-1. Drew's pitches have looked good, has some velocity on his fastball. His off speed really takes something off of it and has some movement on it, and his slider also has some good movement and some good velocity. No balls, one strike. Showing bunt is Schultz, and he tried to catch the Larks defense off guard, but instead he can't bunt anymore. Down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Due up in the bottom of the 4th for Hayes will be Jeminian, Lung, and Divis for the Larks' 3rd time through the order. So the Larks are trailing by 2, but they'll be through their 3rd time in the order, but the Sox are not even through their 2nd time in the order. The 0-2 is swung on and missed, and Drew Burr picks up strikeout number 6 on the day, 21 on the season, through 18 2/3 innings. 2 on, 1 away in the 4th inning. At the bottom of the order, Hunter Jackson, who popped up to Palmer Hutchison to start the 2nd. Burr takes a look at Manmano, a long one, and then delivers a fastball that's grounded between the legs of Jacob Wyeth into the backstop, 0-1. Sox have scored all 4 of their runs in the 1st. They had back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings in the 2nd and 3rd against Drew Burr, and they singled 2 times here in the 4th. Check swing. Burr couldn't get him to go around, but the scoreboard still changes to an 0-2 count. An umpire again corrects the Larks scoreboard, makes it a 1-1 count. Inside delivery moves into the zone late, and Drew Burr has a 1-2 count. Hitting the zone really well in these last 3 innings compared to that 1st inning. Good job for the young righty for bouncing back. That shows some maturity and wisdom on the mound, something you don't see out of a lot of young pitchers, but he was able to bounce back, get his composure, and has been pitching really well in his last 3. Jackson fouls this one off. Will stay 1-2. He ignores the runners and throws a fastball high over the plate, 2-2. Drew was a 2019 Indiana High School Baseball Coaches Association All-Star, and he headed to St. Louis, and at the plate he hit .286, striking out 3 times, but he struck out 3 guys on the mound. He picks up his front foot, gets ready to deliver, and time is called before he can release the ball. That's something that can throw a pitcher out of rhythm. See if it shakes Burr up on the mound. He leans in at Wyeth, nods on the first sign from the catcher, takes a look at Manmano twice, and delivers a fastball that's sent into center field. It drops in front of Leo Jeminian, the third base coach for the Sox. Will hold Manmano at third. Pagani moves to second. Jackson to first. The 6th hit of the game for the Sox. 3rd single of the inning.
Shortstop, number 4, Cody Schultz.
Bases loaded with 1 away for Drew Burr, who'll look to do what the Sox pitcher Kennedy did against the Larks and leave the bases loaded. But before we can get to that, Keith Harper is going to have a chat with his young pitcher. Now pitching for Hayes will be Wyatt Divis, who's been lights out on the mound this season. This is his 7th appearance, his fifth one in relief, all 5 of those in consecutive order. Hasn't allowed a run, has allowed 9 hits and struck out 25 in 18 innings, only walking 1 guy. Slider over the plate for a called strike. Bases are loaded with 1 out, and Drew Burr will have a day after 3 1/3. Divis, this slider inside 1-1. He throws a slider, a changeup, and a fastball on the mound for Hayes and at the University of Texas at Arlington. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bases jacked. He looks over his left shoulder, delivers a fastball high, 2-1. Defensively for Hayes still is Pearson, Jemenian, and Cooper in the outfield, who Pearson is playing shallow in left field, and then Hutchison, Cavanaugh, Long, and Truss on the infield, Jacob Wyeth behind the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 away in the 4th, and the delivery from Divis high and inside on a heater. Hitters count for Schultz. Davis will take a step off the rubber, get some chalk, and then get back on top of the mound, trying to get out number 2 of the inning. Schultz on the day 0 for 2, reaching on an error and flying out. Fastball is hit over to the Sox dugout. Jacob Wyeth speeds to it. It'll be over the roof of the dugout and into out of play territory. And Wyatt Divis now has a full count against Schultz. His last appearance was against the Collegians on Wednesday, where he went 4 innings, allowing 2 hits, striking out 3. And before that, on July 5th, 3 days before, he went 3 innings against Boulder, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 6. Righty versus righty. His payoff pitch is a slider that misses low in the zone, and Drew Burr will get credited for the earned run as Divis walks the 2nd guy of the season for his total. Jackson to 2nd. Pagatti's now at 3rd. Schultz at 1st, but still 1 away, and the Sox now up 5-2. Now Trey Adams, 0 for 1 on the day with a groundout, a walk, and a run scored. Divis has an opponent batting average of 145, has 15 flyouts and 11 groundouts. Inside delivery, Wyeth tries to frame it. Umpire ignores it, and it's 1-0. Home plate umpire today is Shane Wiggett, and on the base path is Matthew Wiggett. One 1-0 becomes 1-1 after a slider moves over the inside part of the plate. 1-1. Divis made 4 appearances on the mound for the Mavericks at UTA in the Sun Belt Conference. Went 1-0 with an ERA of 0 flats. Pitched 16 innings, picked up 2 saves, and held his opponents to a batting average of 132. 2-1. He's from Lincoln, Nebraska. Played 2 years for the Blue Dragons at Hutchinson Community College. Spent 2 years at Arlington. He still has another year of eligibility left. He bats left-handed, but he throws right-handed. Ground ball down the first base sign. It's in fair territory, and 1 scores, 2 scores, and the runner from second base is going to be sent home. Truslow cuts off the throw, and 3 score off of a single as Wyatt Divis says some stuff to the dugout. It's a double for Adams, clearing the bases, picking up 3 RBIs. Scoring is Manmano scored the last one. Pagatti scores, Jackson scores, and Schultz scores. Schultz picks up his 2nd run of the day. Sox up 8-2 against Hayes. Runner in scoring position at second base with one away in the fourth. Larks down by 6. Davis looks at the runner on second, almost hits Ackerman as it misses inside 1-0. One ball, no strikes. One away. Davis takes a breath and then goes from the stretch as popped down to play. Davis never goes from the windup, only from the stretch, regardless if there's runners on or if the bases are empty. That was the 7th hit of the game for Colorado and their 4th run this inning. Ackerman takes a long time to get back into his stance, gets time, and then gets his delivery from Davis, and he sends it into center field, moving his hands in. Leo Jiminian moves in, makes the catch, runner starts to tag, and he's going back to second. Ackerman now 1 for 3 on the day. This is now the 8th hitter of the inning, as it's Hank Bard, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a run scored and RBI. His 3rd plate appearance in 4 innings, Bard, the first baseman. He also is listed as a catcher on Colorado's roster. 2 away, runner on second. Davis delivers. It's sent into the fan pavilion. A do-up for Hayes in the bottom of the 4th, down by 6. Is Jiminian, Lung, and Davis at the top of the order. Larks fans, make sure you follow Larks on Twitter and Facebook. Hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel while you're watching the game. Changer from Davis misses low and outside, far, 1-1. Wyatt takes a second to get composed on the mound. Looks at Adams and delivers a strike, painting the outside corner, 1-2. Hayes has a more talented roster than the Sox, but have just struggled against them. They're 1-2 against them this season, and they're down by 6 here in the 4th. Coming into the season, Hayes had 4 guys from the D1 level on the roster. Colorado has none. A line drive down the left field side. Hutchison dives forward. It misses his glove, and scoring from second base is Adams, and the throw to second is past Lung. 2 doubles allowed for Wyatt Davis, and that's an earned run. His first of the season. His second one, as Schultz was a runner he walked. 5 runs in this inning makes it a 9-2 lead for Colorado. Picking up RBI number 2 is Bard. Scoring for the second time today is Adams. He now has 2 runs scored, and he's driven in 3. 0-1 on Owen Reynolds, as the Sox are at their 9th batter of the inning. Davis frustrated on the mound. Larks down by 7. We'll have to do some work here in the next inning. 1-1. They have 6 innings to make up this 7-run differential. 1-1 with 2 away. And the runner's on second base. Ground ball down the left field part of the field. It rolls to Cameron Pearson. In the outfield, Davis has now allowed 2 straight hits. And there's runners on the corners with 2 away. And the Sox have now batted around. Davis struggling on the mound for the first time this season.
Left fielder number 22,
Manmano led off the inning with a single and then came around to score after Schultz walked. This inning just won't end for the Larks. This one above the letters on a heater, 1-0. Top of the fourth, 2 away, runners on the corners. Sox up 9-2 against the Larks. The 1-0 delivery from Davis is swung on and missed. 1-1. Davis looks in at Wyatt, looks at first base, looks at Reynolds, and will check over at him. Just keeping him honest with 2 on and 2 out. Colorado has 9 hits. 5 of those from this inning. Changer from Davis is swung on and tipped into the glove of Wyeth. We're at a 1-2 count with 2 out. 10th plate appearance for Colorado this inning. It's been a very long top of the fourth. Pop fly out of play, hit backwards into the parking lot. We'll stay at 1-2 for pitch number 5 of this at-bat. Slight breeze moving in from center field. It's cooled off as clouds have rolled over Larks Park. Davis delivers a fastball outside, 2-2. So if the game were to end right now, Drew Burr would move to 1-3 on the season. But the Larks never count them out. Get a swing and a miss off of Manmano. Wyeth throws to Truslow. Sox get 5 in the fourth, and we move to the bottom half of the inning. Larks down by 7. Top of the order in the bottom of the fourth. Leo Jemenian will lead it off for Hayes after a 5-run top of the inning for Colorado. He sends his first pitch to center field, and one center fielder flies out to the other for out number 1. 1 away to Grant Lunk, who walked in the third and then came around to score off the bat of Matt Cavanaugh. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He'll look to pick up his first hit. So Lark's third time through the order. On deck is the pitcher, Wyatt Davis, in the hole, Jacob Wyeth. First delivery to Lung over the outside part of the plate on a fastball, called strike. Lung plays for the Cougars at the University of Sioux Falls at the D2 level in the NSIC conference. He's a 6-foot junior, down the count 0-2 after a after looking at 2 straight balls in the zone. Played for the Larks in the KCLB tournament and the NBC World Series last year, but he played for Valley Center, and he led the team in many stat categories. And games played, runs scored, batting average, total bases, walks, runs batted in, on base percentage, and hits. And this one is hit hard to right center field, but catching it in front of the 349 sign will be Owen Reynolds. 2 up, 2 down on flyouts to center field for the Larks in the bottom of the 4th. Now move to Wyatt Divis, the pitcher, who is 1 for 2 in the day with a flyout to right field and a single in the 1st. Righty on the mound for Colorado, a lefty in the box for Hayes. On deck is Jacob Wyeth and the whole Corbin Truslow. Larks have just 4 hits. They've walked 4 times, but the main separation right here that I think could end up being the deciding factor and the thing that Larks will remember is the left on base. They've left, through the first 3 innings, they left 7 guys on base, and in back-to-back innings, they left the bases loaded. Just not capitalizing on situations that they could have, and that they have been capitalizing all season prior to this. They're a great team, a lot of talent, good chemistry. Just tonight haven't been making the most of their situations. 2-0 on Divis as this one drops 3-0. Larks have been a solid team. Obviously, they're on a 6-game win streak. You know, you could go through all 9 guys in the order, and I guarantee you no opposing pitcher wants to face that guy. And the Larks have a lot of talent on the mound. They're just down by 7 here in the 4th. Hitters count for Divis. Three and 1. The delivery to Wyatt is outside. It's a 5-pitch walk. That is the 6th walk of the game for Hayes. This is the only inning that Hayes hasn't started it off with a walk to lead off. Runner on first with 2 outs for Jacob Wyeth, the catcher. 0 for 2 in the day with a ground out and a pop-up. We'll get a courtesy runner for Wyatt Divis, and it'll be Ryan Reuter for the Larks.
Also running for Divis number 5, Ryan Reuter.
Reuter hadn't run since high school. Plays for Fort Hays State. He ran against Boulder in Boulder, and he's on the base paths for the 2nd time this season and the 2nd time in the past 5 years. 0-1. Past 4 years. He's a senior for Fort Hays State. Still has another year of eligibility after getting it back due to the condensed season. I'm not sure if he'll be taking it or not. Haven't talked to him about it. But right now the situation is a 1-1 count on Wyeth. One ball, 1 strike, 2 away, a runner on first for the catcher from LSU. Sends one up the middle, and the shift proves pointless as Wyeth is aboard with 2 outs. 2-out rally here for Hayes. There's 2 on. So now we'll move to Corbin Truslow and get the 2nd courtesy runner of the inning at Jace Armstrong for the catcher Jacob Wyeth. Truslow today has made 2 plate appearances, hasn't gotten a hit, but he's reached base twice on a walk and a hit by pitch. He scored in the 3rd inning. First delivery from Kennedy to him over the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Larks on a 6-game winning streak going back to last Sunday in Boulder. They got a lot of work to make up to make it 7. They're tied for the lead in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. Sox are 5 games back with a losing record. Truslow starts the turn, lays off on one that misses high, 1-1. Due up for the Sox in the 5th will be Pagani, Schultz, and Jackson after they played at 10 guys in the 4th. Kennedy gets a sign from Ackerman and is just waiting on Truslow. Truslow back in the box with this count knotted up at 1-1. Takes this one below the knees off the plate, 2-1. On deck is Pearson in the hole, Metcalf. Corbin played for the Liberal BJs last summer, batting .236, and his 2 years at Garden City led Garden in multiple stat categories quite a bit. Led in hits, runs scored, average, RBIs, home runs, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and walks. Still no change on the scoreboard after that. Truslow back into the left-hander's batter's box, forces the northpaw, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on in the bottom of the 4th. Larks down by 7 against the Sox. Truslow works his way to a full count, this one above the letters, and Kennedy will deliver a payoff pitch. Bullpen silent for Hayes and for Colorado. Wind picking up a little bit, moving in from center field as the skies get darker in Hayes. Corbin swings and misses at his payoff pitch. Kennedy celebrates as Truslow, Reuter, and Armstrong go back to the dugout, down by 7. We'll move to the 5th here on Larks Network. Hayes trailing Colorado 9-2. Top of the 5th, Colorado leading Hayes by 7. At the plate is Jacob Pagani, who's 2 for 2 in the day with a run scored and 2 RBIs off of 2 singles. Wyatt Davis's first fastball into the left-hander's batter's box makes it a 1-0 count. This one a changeup inside, 2-0. Due up is Schultz, Jackson, and then the other Schultz for Colorado. It's been a long stretch of games for Hayes. They have played $11 games in the past 12 days. And Davis has a 4-pitch walk. So you got to wonder if that fatigue is playing any sort of a factor in this performance for the Larks. Leadoff base runner for Colorado. Pagani aboard for the third straight time. 2 singles and now a walk. Davis gets set, slider, paints the inside bottom quarter of the zone. Schultz on the day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Both of them against Drew Burr. 1-1. Davis has caused 41 swing and misses this season, and about 20% of the pitches he throws are swung on and miss. 1-2. Davis has a K ratio per 9 innings of 12.5. It's off Wyeth. The throw won't be in time, and advancing to scoring position is Pagani. Third time he advances into scoring position today. Two balls and 2 strikes on the DH for Colorado. Movement in the pen for Hayes. It appears to be Landon Shire. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's popped over the right side, out of play. Davis takes a second to gather himself, and he'll go from the stretch. 2 balls and 2 strikes again. It's popped out of play yet again, and we'll have a 7-pitch at bat. Runner on second is Pagani after walking and then reaching on a wild pitch. Sox got 5 runs in the last inning, and Davis punches out Schultz for out number 1 of the 5th.
Second baseman number 15, Hunter Jackson.
Runner in scoring position, 1 away to Hunter Jackson. 1 for 2 in the day with a pop-up, a single, and then a run scored in the 4th. Davis takes a look at Pagani as he's danced around, throws to Wyeth. It's at the knees in the zone, 0-1. Jackson from Oberlin College. He hits right-handed and is a starting second baseman after playing shortstop yesterday. 0-1 with 1 away. He swings and misses at a changeup. He's down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Jackson yesterday 0 for 2 with the strikeouts. And then the first time he faced Hayes this season was July 3rd in Game 2 of a 2-game series in Colorado, where he went 0 for 2 with an RBI, 2 walks, and a run scored, striking out 2 times. He'll be punched out. Davis has thrown 3 straight strikes against Jackson, and that puts 2 away.
Shortstop number 4, Cody Schultz.
We'll move to the top of the order. It's the Sox' 4th time through. Schultz to the batter's box, 0 for 2 in the day, reaching on an error, walking, and flying out. He scored twice, both times he's reached base. 2 away, Pagani at second base, and the top of the 5th, Colorado leading Hayes 9-2. Davis throws a fastball, misses below the knees, 1-0. Due up for Hayes in the bottom of the inning will be Pearson, Cavanaugh, and Cooper. Davis set up on the third base side of the rubber, and he'll go from the stretch against the shortstop. Umpire rules it a strike, 1-1. So Drew Burr started this game out, went 3 1/3 innings. He's 1-2 on the season. Larks have some work to do to make him get a no decision. Davis delivers. It's popped over the right side. Grant Lung starts to move in on it, trying to catch it, and then wisely pulls back and waits for it to get to him on a hop. Throws to Corbin Truslow, and the Larks hold the Sox scoreless in the 5th. We move to the bottom half. Larks up by 7. Larks down by 7. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game.
Meet me down at the ballpark, where I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. All of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure.
Bottom of the 5th, we move to Cameron Pearson right along here from Larks Park. He ducks under this first delivery. He's up in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. As you heard in the ad there, make sure you subscribe to the Larks YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. You'll be notified each time we go live all season long. Follow the Larks on Facebook and Twitter. Ads are on your screen. Line drive from Pearson into foul territory. 1-1. You got a guy heading to the bullpen for Hayes. It is Brady Rose for the Larks. One and one. Pearson swings hard at this one. Again is ahead of it and grounds it towards the Larks bullpen. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hayes has 5 hits. Colorado has 9. Pearson is down on strikes. First time he'll go down on strikes today. He's now 1 for 3 with a single. 1 away, base empty to Matt Cav, the 7-hold, and the shortstop after the Larks left fielder heads back to the dugout. Cavanaugh has a single, and then he reached on there and also has an RBI on the day. Kennedy gets set and will deliver to Matt Cav, who shows bunt, pulls back quick as it misses above the letters 1-0. This is Matt Cav's second year with the Larks. He struck out only 6 times last year, the least among the team. And he played in 27 games, picking up 36 hits with a batting average of .330. The 1-0 delivery to him, he swings above and misses 1-1. Change in numbers for Matt this season. He's struck out 6 times, matching his total from last year, and has a batting average higher than last year at .380. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bases empty in the bottom of the 5th. This one above the letters. Cavanaugh up in the count, 2-1. Kennedy has gone 4 1/3 innings strong for the Sox, and their bullpen is silent. The Larks are on their second pitcher of the day, and a third one is in the pen. The 2-1 delivery to Cavanaugh, he swings on and sends it to the backstop, 2-2. Defensively for the Sox here in the 5th is Manmano, Reynolds, and Pagani in the outfield, Adams, Schultz, Jackson, and Bard in the infield, moving from left to right, and then Nolan Ackerman behind the plate. The Thunderbird from Cloud County delivers to the Maverick from UT Arlington, and it's popped out of play. Two balls and two strikes to the Cowboy. On deck for Hayes is Sean Cooper. In the hole is Palmer Hutchison. The 2-2 delivery to Kavanaugh again. A little too eager, sends it into foul territory, pulling it. He'll stay alive with a 1 out, bottom of the 5th. He gets time here as the ball was still in left field. Two balls and two strikes to Matt Caff. Kennedy gets set on the rubber and will go to Caff, who sends it to center field. And a bad read from Reynolds. He moves back first, and then he has to move in. It's off his glove. It'll be an E8. And Kavanaugh is aboard for the second straight time, reaching on an error. And there's a 1 out, runner in scoring position for Hayes. Now to Sean Cooper, who is 1 for 1 today with a single, a run driven in, and a walk. That is the second error of the game for the Sox. Hayes has 1 as well. Outside and high to Sean Cooper. He's up in the count. Due up in the 6th for Colorado is Adams, Ackerman, and Bard. But the Larks will look to put something together in the 5th and cut that deficit down. Cooper lays off one that started above the letters and outside and eventually dropped to the turf. 2 balls and no strikes to the right fielder for Hayes. Staying up to cancer night here at Larks Park in downtown Hayes, Kansas. Larks sporting their pink jerseys for the first time this season with the blue lettering. At second base, and the delivery to Sean Cooper is a called strike. That's number 1 of the at-bats. Two and 1 with 1 away and a runner in scoring position for Cooper. Sean yesterday drove in a run and he also scored 1. He's already driven in 1 already, and he has a hitter's count. Sean has an on-base plus slugging of .647. He's walked 10 times and scored 12, driven in 8. Kennedy gets set, looks at Kavanaugh, and then moves his head to Cooper, and he has walked Cooper on 5 pitches. So again, the Larks put 2 on base, but they haven't been able to capitalize on it. They have left 9 guys on in the first 4 innings. We'll get it. Palmer Hutchison to the batter's box after a quick mound visit between Ackerman and Kennedy. Hutchison is all 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout in the 2nd, and then popped up to Ackerman to end the 3rd in foul territory. Takes an inside pitch close to his shoulder, 1-0. Palmer will have 4 years of eligibility left at the collegiate level, 2 left at Kansas City, Kansas Community College. A 1-0 becomes 2-0 after a changeup is above the letters. On deck for Hayes is Leo Jeminian and the whole Grant Lung. Kennedy looks in, again looks at Kavanaugh, and delivers to Hutchison, who is early on it and sends it skying to shallow left field. Schultz moves back and moves in and grabs it for out number 2. Hutchison now 0 for 3 on the day. Second straight pop-up for the third baseman. We move to the top of the order. Leo Jeminian, who is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and 2 flyouts. He's hit the ball well. The Sox have just been right in the area. Two away and 2 on. Two away to Leo Jeminian, who has his count 1-0 after a fastball drops below the knees. Leo has 15 hits this season. One of those a double, 14 of the others are singles. Has a on-base percentage of .403 as he's walked 11 times and reached on fielder's choices 5 times. 2-0 on the center fielder from St. Lo, France. Leo was chosen to participate in the MLB Elite Camp in Europe and then played on the MLB World Select team in Arizona, was invited to the senior team for France, and was a member of youth national teams. The runners move up 90 feet. There's 2 in scoring position, and Sean Cooper is at second, and he has speed. So if Leo can put something to the outfield, Larks can make it a 5-run deficit. But it's a 3-0 count to Leo. Three balls, no strikes, 2 away. Leo steps out on this one, taking all the way, and good thing he stepped out because it was right at his hip. He would have been taking a hit by pitch number 5 on the season, but instead he's aboard with a 4-pitch walk. 2 walks in this inning for the Larks. That is 7 on the day. Matt Cav at third base, Sean Cooper at second, Leo Jeminian at first base. The Larks just started out this game behind. There was 4 runs in the first. They didn't answer back into the third, but by the time we got to the by the time we got to the bottom of the fourth, Colorado had responded with 5 of their own, making it a 9-2 ball game. 1-0 bases loaded to Grant Lung. Good leader for Hayes, his 0 for 2 on the day with a walk and a run scored. He struck out against Kennedy in the first and then flew out in the fourth. Sox still no movement in their pen. Kennedy has thrown a lot of pitches and allowed a lot of base runners, but has done a great job of managing the situations and throws an off-speed into the zone for Lung. One ball, 1 strike to the second baseman, and the delivery from Kennedy is above the letters. Good take for Grant. 2-1. On deck is Divis in the hole Wyeth. It's the 6th guy the Larks have batted this inning. It's the 4th time through the order, but they've only managed 2 runs and a whole lot of base runners. The 2-1, he checks, swings, and it will be a foul ball after it takes it off the inside part of his bat. 2-2 with the bases loaded and 2 outs. A key situation here for the Larks. This could be a huge momentum changer or just another time the Larks leave the bases loaded. They've already left the bases loaded twice tonight, once in the second and then once in the third. But you got to think Grant Lung is the guy you want at the plate to not let that happen again. The batting average of .386 and 22 hits. We'll get time here before Kennedy delivers to him. Larks left 9 guys on base in the first 4 innings, 1 in the first. And Grant Lung gets a base hit, and scoring as Kavanaugh. Runners are going to be held up, and Leo Jeminian ignored or didn't see the sign from Frank Leo, and he gets caught between second and third, and that ends the fifth. But the Larks do get one off the bat of Grant Lung, and scoring was Matt Cavanaugh. That ends the inning, and we'll move to the sixth. Larks down by 6. Pitcher into the game in the top of the 6th for Hayes. It is Brady Rose replacing Wyatt Divis. Larks picked up 1 and left 2 on in the last inning after just an unfortunate error. 1-0 to Trey Adams, who's at the plate for his 4th time tonight. He has a double, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 3 RBIs. 1-1. Brady Rose is making his 5th appearance this season. His 4th one in relief. He's 1-0 on the season. 2-0. He didn't get credit in the game changer for the Larks, but he did pick up the win against Boulder on last Sunday. Ground ball to Grant Lung, who moves to his left, throws on the hop across his body to Sean Cooper, the new first baseman, and there is 1 away. So defensively now for Hayes, it is Wyatt Divis in left field, and in center field is Leo Jiminian. In right field is Jace Armstrong, Sean Cooper at first base, Cam Pearson at third base, Grant Lung and Matt Cavanaugh in the middle of the infield. Trey Adams has his 2nd ground out to Grant Lung today, and there's 1 away in the 6th. Brady Rose on the mound has struck out 11 guys, walked only 3, and has 2 earned runs, making for an ERA of 1.6 and a whip under 1. A ball here from the southpaw. No balls, 2 strikes. We'll say that one was in the zone. Rose throws left-handed. He's from Westminster, Colorado. Plays at McLennan Community College for the Highlanders. He's a 6'5" freshman. He made 6 appearances on the mound, all in relief for the Highlanders, with a 3-0 record and a 3.55 ERA, striking out 18 guys in 12 2/3 innings. The 0-2 delivery, a fastball outside. Wyatt lunges for it, 1-2. Brady's only allowed 7 hits this season. .65 freshman will go from the windup, a changeup, a swing and a miss, As Nolan Ackerman swings under it, he's down for the third straight time.
First baseman number 18, Hank Bard.
2 away, Brady Rose has 2 straight outs, and he'll face Hank Bard for the first time. Bard just a triple and a home run shy of the cycle, but the 2 hardest ones to get. He has a single and a double, a run scored, and 2 RBIs. Rose has an opponent batting average of 175, a great number. Yeah, I think you'll take that out of any guy. I mean, that's just an elite number to have in an opponent batting average. Throws a fastball down at the knees over the plate for a strike. Strikes out 9 guys per regulation game. This is his 5th appearance, his first one against the Sox. This one misses the zone, 1-2. Rose pitched 2 innings against the Cougars in his debut, 2 against the Rough Riders on July 1st, and then pitched 4 against Boulder in Boulder, and then 3 against Boulder in Hayes, picking up his 2nd straight win. Fouling this one off is Bard, will stay at 1-2. Larks will be down to their final 12 outs in the bottom of this inning, down by 6. It's grounded above Rose's head. Kavanaugh moves in, throws sidearm to Sean Cooper, who reaches for it, and that is the inning. Brady Rose gets the Sox to go down in order, and we move to the bottom half. Larks down by 6. Bottom of the 6th here from Hayes, Kansas. Leading off will be Wyatt Divis, the left fielder now. Started out DH, started pitching, and then moved into left field after relieving Drew Burr. 1-0. New pitcher into the game for the Sox is Connor Nankis out of Metro State University. He's a southpaw. His first look at Wyatt Divis, who is 1 for 2 on the day with a walk, a single, a fly out, and now a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff guy in the bottom of the 6th. Following the 6th inning, the Larks will have their stand up to cancer moment. 1-1 becomes 2-1 after a fastball runs low and outside on Divis. 2 balls, 1 strike. Due up is Wyeth, Truslow, and Pearson here in the Larks' 4th time through the order. 2-1 to Divis. He takes a hack on it and 2 straight foul balls over to the opposite part of the field. Makes it a 2-2 count. Two balls and 2 strikes, and a swing and a miss from Wyatt Divis. He is down on 5 pitches, 1 away. Larks down to their final 11 outs.
Catcher number 27, Jacob Wyeth.
1 away, bases empty to Jacob Wyeth. Wyeth on the day, 1 for 3 with a pop-up, a ground-out, and a single. We'll get time here before Nankis can deliver to him. Patrick Kennedy, a day after 5 innings, allowing 3 runs. Not all of those were earned, though. This ball misses low on Jacob Wyeth. 1 ball, no strikes. One and one counts, said the scoreboard. Now it says 2-1 against Jacob Wyeth. Connor Nankis from Aurora, Colorado, played at Pima Community College, where Larks players from last year, Christian Piercy and Tommy Garcia, played at. Then he also played at Washington State. Bottom of the 6th, Larks down by 6. They got to put something together here. So 1 away and the bases are empty. And Wyeth will be aboard with a walk. Runner on first, 1 away to Corbin Truslow, tonight's beverage batter, 0 for 1 with a walk, a hit by pitch, a strikeout, and a run scored.
Beverage batter, first baseman number 29, Corbin Truslow.
Nankis on the mound had a 6-5 record at Pima, and then at Washington State for WSU, he made 9 appearances and had a 6 flat ERA. He pitched 11 1/3 innings, and it's not Corbin Truslow, it's Jace Armstrong who replaced him.
Correction, batting for Truslow, number 20, Jace Armstrong.
Jace Armstrong came in and played right field in the last inning, and Sean Cooper moved in from right field and played first base. This delivery to him is going to be off his foot, and he'll be aboard as Ryan Reuter is designated running for Jacob Wyeth, and he moves to second base. 2 Fort Hays State Tigers on base for the second time tonight when Jacob Wyeth was aboard, and then Truslow reached. No, Divis was on board with a walk, and then Wyeth singled. Reuter ran for Divis, and Armstrong ran for Wyeth. 2 on, 1 out to Cam Pearson. Pearson on the day, 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a flyout. Also has a single, reached third base and then was stranded there. So that's the second time that a sock has plunked the guy in the 5-hole spot. This time it's Jace Armstrong. Pearson wants to get some pine tar on his bat. Scoreboard reads an 0-1 count on him. Two on, 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. Larks down 9-3 against the Sox. They scored 1 in the 5th and left 2 on. They'll look to bounce back here in the 6th. Strike called on Pearson. No balls and 2 strikes on the third baseman, who started the game in left field. The 0-2 delivery to him. He reaches, protects the plate, just looking to foul that one off. Will stay alive. 0-2 for pitch number 4 of this at-bat. No balls, 2 strikes to Pearson, with Reuter on second, Armstrong at first. And the delivery to Cam drops below his knees. Reuter slid there between second and third as Ackerman moved to get it quick. 1-2 now to Cam. On deck for Hayes is Matt Cavanaugh, and the hole Sean Cooper. The 1-2 to Pearson. He sends to left field. It's on a ground ball. Ryan Reuter will be held up at third base. Armstrong moves to second, and Pearson has his second single today. The bases are loaded for the 3rd time now for Hayes. 4th time now for Hayes. They left in 2 innings they left the bases loaded, ending it on an out. Bases loaded, 1 away. It's Reuter at third base, Armstrong at second, Pearson at first base. Cavanaugh to the dish. He's reached base all 3 times he's come to the plate on a single, 2 errors. He has a run scored and picked up an RBI. Outside part of the plate on an off-speed pitch makes it an 0-1 count. Reuter scored 2 times against Boulder when he pinch ran, and this one Matt Cavanaugh sends to left field on a ground ball. Reuter comes around and scores his 3rd run of the season. Cavanaugh picks up RBI number 2 of the day, and the Larks are now down by just 5. Bases loaded, 1 away to the new first baseman. Pearson to second, Armstrong to third, Cavanaugh at first. Matt picked up RBI number 10 right there. Cooper on the day, 3 plate appearances, 2 walks, and a single, and RBI. He's reached base all 3 times, just like Matt Cav. He sends his first delivery out of play into the fan pavilion. He's down 0-1. Larks trying to get some momentum going here. You can feel it starting to build up. They look to capitalize on it. They haven't been able to earlier, as they have left 11 guys on base in the first 5 innings, and in 2 of those they left the bases loaded. No balls, 1 strike. Cooper checks, swings, pulls back. It's called a strike. On deck is Palmer Hutchison. No, it's not. It's Max McGuire for Hayes. It looks like Hutchison will be pinch hit. He didn't feel in the last inning. So McGuire's the new DH. 1-1 to Cooper is what the scoreboard reads, but yet again the scoreboard is wrong. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes, 1 away, bases loaded for Cooper. Sean has 8 RBIs this season. He has 2 in scoring position, with Pearson at second and Armstrong at third. He swings and grounds one slowly to the pitcher, who reaches it in his glove and makes a nice play, tossing it to his catcher Ackerman. And Cooper's aboard for the 4th straight time, this time on a fielder's choice, but out is Armstrong. 2 away, bases loaded. Larks down by 5, and pinch hitting for Palmer Hutchison is Max McGuire.
Now batting for Hutchison.
Hutchison was 0 for 3 on the day with 2 pump-ups and a strikeout. Max is batting .261. He has 8 RBIs and he scored 3 times. It is Pearson at third base, Kavanaugh at second, Cooper at first. Nankiss delivers to McGuire, who takes a hack at that one and misses it 0-1. Nankiss had an ERA of 3.18 at MSU Denver, 3.11 in the third innings pitched this last season. Played against some Larks this last season when MSU played at Fort Hays, and then they played against the University of Sioux Falls where Grant Lung plays. Oh, 0-1 on Max McGuire. He'll get back into the right-hander's batter's box. Nankiss was a 4-year letterman in high school. He was a All-Centennial League first-teamer and was at multiple times, was a first-team All-Centennial League his junior year, had a 1.6 ERA, and won a state title that year. Oh, 0-2 on McGuire, the new DH. Takes one over the outside part of the plate, a curveball that drawn back into the zone. He will head back to the dugout. Larks leave the bases loaded for the third time tonight. They've let 14 on, and they're down by 5. That is a huge separator, and we'll have our stand up to cancer moment here before the 7th inning right here on Larks Network.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we take this opportunity to honor our families and loved ones who have been affected by cancer. We invite you to please rise, hold up your signs, and stand up to cancer as a show of support for cancer victims, survivors, and loved ones everywhere.
top of the 7th after a heart-touching moment in the Stand Up to Cancer night at Hayes. To the mound now is Trevor Munch as a 1-pitch, 1-out start after Brady Rose throws a perfect 6th. Owen Reynolds down for the 3rd time tonight. Now we move to Kian Manmano, who has a strikeout, a single, and then another strikeout, along with a run scored. He was a leadoff hitter in that 5-run 4th for the Sox. They haven't scored since then, thanks to Wyatt Divis, Brady Rose, and now Trevor Munch. Defensively for Hayes, after the changes from last in the infield, it's Lung, Pearson, Kavanaugh, and Cooper, as this one's grounded to Grant Lung, who moves to his right and in, throws to Cooper. 2 up, 2 down on 2 groundouts to Grant Lung in the 7th.
Right fielder, number 17, Jacob Pagatti.
Now to Jacob Pagatti, who is 2 for 2 in the day with 2 singles and a walk and 2 RBIs, and along with a run scored. Larks down by 5. Trevor Munch is making his 5th appearance. All of them are in relief. He's 1-1 on the season, and he has a save that was on Friday against Boulder. 0-1 reads the scoreboard here at Larks Park. Trevor's allowed 3 hits, 2 earned runs, striking out 2 guys in 6 innings. Has a whip of .667. Count reads 1-1. Trevor has an opponent batting average of 136. That's the lowest on the team. The 1-1 delivery is sent to right field. Moving back is Jace Armstrong. He's on the warning track, reaches up with a hand on the wall and secures it for out number 3. 6 straight collisions down off of Trevor Munch and Brady Rose. We move to the 7th inning stretch here in Hayes, Kansas. Larks down by 5.
Sing that ballpark classic, Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Seventh inning has been stretched here in Hayes. Leading off will be Leo Jeminian, who is 0 for 2 in the day with 2 walks and 2 flyouts. This is his 5th plate appearance. Larks have led 14 guys on base for the first 6 innings, and they're down by 5. Just not what you want. Leo pops this one up over to the right side and out of play, 1-1. Still Nankus on the mound for the Sox. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nankus goes from the stretch, lefty versus righty. It's in the zone for a called strike against Leo. The 1-2 is swung on, hit to right field. Pagani moves back on a line drive. It's off his glove. It rolls into the corner. Leo rounds second base, slips on his way to third, and is held up. A close play, but he reacts to it, and he's aboard, reaching on an E9. Scoreboard again incorrect, shows it was a hit, but it's ruled in the scorebook as an E9. Seems to be the theme this season, an incorrect scoreboard at Larks Park. Leadoff runner in scoring position as we move to Grant Lung, the 2-hole, 1 for 3 in the day with a fly, a strikeout, a walk, a run scored, and an RBI. Larks down by 5. They're down to their final 9 outs. Lung moves out of the way of this one. It paints the bottom inside corner for a called strike against the second baseman from the University of Sioux Falls. Gets into his stance. Lefty versus lefty. Launches this one. A run outside on the breaking ball. 1-1. On deck is the left fielder Wyatt Divis, in the hole Jacob Wyeth. The 1-1 to Grant, outside and low, 2-1. Larks on a 6-game winning streak. Got to get 5 runs in 3 innings to avoid it being snapped. The 2-1 to Lung, in the zone for a called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 to Lung is outside, a tough take, but a good one, makes it a full count. Larks got 2 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th and 6th. To continue scoring here in the 7th. Leo has speed at second base. Grant takes his payoff pitch and sends it into the fan pavilion over on the left side. We get a 7-pitch at bat out of Lung. Runner on second, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th here in Hays, Kansas. The second payoff pitch to Lung is inside. He's aboard for the 3rd time tonight, his 2nd walk. And the Larks have 2 on with nobody out. Can they capitalize here in the bottom of the 7th is the question. So we'll move to Wyatt Divis, the 3-hole. Has a walk, a single, a flyout, and a strikeout. On deck is Jacob Wyeth, in the hole Jace Armstrong. Wyatt, on the day, looking to pick up hit number 2. Swings at it and sends it to left field, and it will be hit number 2. Frank Leo holds up Leo Jeminian at third. The bases are loaded for the 5th time tonight, and the Larks have no outs on them. Down by 5. The tying run is on deck. So Divis has his 2nd hit of the day. He's aboard for the 3rd time. Grant Lung at second base, Wyatt Divis at first base, Leo Jemini on third base. That air from Pagani starting to look more and more important as we go along. Nolan Ackerman will step out from behind the plate as the manager of the Sox will have a chat with the home plate umpire. It's Dick Orcutt is the Sox manager. Home plate umpire is Shane Wiggett. Coming in from third base is Adams to have a talk with Nancis, while Orcutt talks with Wiggett. Leo Jeminian reached on an error to start the inning. Lung walked, and then Divis singled. Long chat here, and Wiggett calls the other Wiggett to have a discussion. Matthew Wiggett and Shane Wiggett, today's umpires. Frank Leo moves his way over to hear what the discussion is about. Couldn't tell you what it's about from up here, but the bases are loaded with nobody out, and the guy at the plate has a lot of RBIs this season. He's a dangerous guy. He's headed to the SEC, where he'll give those teams problems this next spring. Jake has 15 RBIs. He has 3 home runs. And Leo giving some input to the conversation, and now Dick Orcutt wants to talk to Frank Leo. So both umpires and both managers in this discussion. Now it's a discussion between Leo and Orcutt, and the umpires are listening. Leo in his 38th season with the Larks heads back to third base. Orcutt will move back to his dugout. Sox had a guy ejected yesterday. Not sure what this one is about. Orcutt takes a quick turn to the umpire like he said something he didn't like. Kind of fun doing play-by-play of interactions like this. Fans growing restless here in Larks Park as this has been a long pause, and Orcutt just drawing it on. So the third baseman, Trey Adams, wants to know what it's about. Leo will tell him as the umpires go back to their designated spots. Jacob Wyatt moves to the plate with Grant Lung on second, Wyatt Davis at first base, and at third base is Leo Jeminian. Bottom of the 7th, nobody out. First delivery to Wyatt outside, and hopefully that long pause took Nankis out of a rhythm. But he really didn't have a rhythm going, putting 3 straight guys on, but the first one wasn't his fault. Never count the Larks out. That's what I've learned growing up in Hayes and watching this team. Never count the Larks out. It's good rally situation. Fans starting to feel it. It's a 2-0 count. Scoreboard reads 1-1. Again, incorrect. What a shocker. Movement in the pen for Hayes, but Wyeth has a 3-0 count as this one's above the letters. Is 1 ball away from picking up RBI number 16. I imagine he'll be taken all the way here in a critical situation. Nankis delivers, and Wyeth does take all the way. He starts to head to first. They'll say it was on the inside corner for a called strike. A hitter's count for the LSU commit. Fans didn't agree with it, and Wyeth thought it was ball 4. He'll step back into the batter's box with the hitter's count, trying to make Connor Nankis pay. Wyeth leads the team in batting average and on base percentage and slugging percentage. Swings at this one and has a full count after what could have been ball 4. The payoff pitch to Jacob Wyeth. He sends on a pop fly. Frustrating right there. Trey Adams moves into foul territory and secures it. A frustrating change of events as it looked like it was going to be a 9-5 ball game. Jacob Wyeth picking up a walk, but instead the umpire disagreed, and now there's one away.
Now batting, our never batter, number 20, James Armstrong.
Now batting for Hayes, bases loaded, 1 away. It will be the right fielder, Jace Armstrong from Fort Hays State University. Jace picked up his first RBI as a Lark yesterday. He's made 7 plate appearances, is 1 for 4 with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Swings at this one, a cut and a half, and is under it, 0-1. He's replacing Corbin Truslow, who was hit by a pitch in the 6th in his first and only plate appearance prior to this one. 1 away, bases loaded, 0-1 count to Armstrong. Lefty versus righty, this one way outside into the left-hander's batter's box, 1-1. Armstrong has courtesy ran multiple times this season. He's scored 6 times on the base paths, running for Jacob Wyeth and Max McGuire. The 1-1 delivery to Armstrong. He takes below the knees, 2-1. Larks have left 14 guys on. They've scored just 4 times. And they have 8 hits. They'll say this one was at the knees, looked low. 2-2 now on Armstrong. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 away, bases loaded. Armstrong only appeared in 2 games for the Tigers this last season. He turns on this one, protects the plate on one outside, and sends it back to the net. Will stay 2-2 for pitch number 6 of the at-bat. Larks haven't been able to capitalize with the bases loaded at all today. This is the 5th time they're loaded. Can the Larks do something with it? The go-ahead run is in the hole, and on deck is the game-tying run. Armstrong gets time. Nankiss gets set. It's a sign from Ackerman, and will go from the stretch. They'll punch out Jace Armstrong on a off-speed delivery that moved. Fans yell at the umpire, and there's 2 away. So Larks, their hopes are now lying on Cameron Pearson. See if he can do something with the bases loaded. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles, a pump out, and a strikeout. He sends one to left field. Moving back is Manmano. He moves in after a tough read and secures it. The Larks have now left 17 guys on base. You can't win when you leave that many guys on. A well-hit ball from Pearson. It looked good off the bat. Manmano moved back like it was going out and then moved back in. They've left 17 guys on base. This is the 4th time actually they've left the bases loaded. And we move to the 8th as there's an argument between the Larks as we go to the 8th inning. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans, and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game. Here on Larks Network, new pitcher into the game for Hayes is Zach Furniture. Throws a quick fastball in the zone for a strike. After a controversial 7th inning, the Larks leave the bases loaded. An argument lasting the whole switch and defensive change. And now the third base coach is having a chat with Frank Leo. Doesn't look disrespectful or heated. It just looks like they're discussing what went down that last inning. 0-2. The Larks have left 17 guys on base, and Zach Furniture has a 3-pitch punch-out against Tyler Schultz. Schultz has gone down 4 times tonight on strikes in all 4 at-bats. One away now to Hunter Jackson. He has a single, a pop-up, and a strikeout, along with a run scored on the day. Furniture is making appearance number 5 on the mound. Has pitched 6 2/3 innings. This is his 3rd straight in relief. He started 2. Has 6 earned runs and has struck out 10, an ERA of 8.1. Plays for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, where Max McGuire and Wyatt Divis are both alumni of. This one will be a ground ball fouled off the leg of Jackson. Zach Furniture yet to throw a ball this inning. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 away, bases empty in the top of the 8th. Larks will be down to their final 6 outs in the bottom half. This one's grounded up the middle slowly. Kavanaugh fields it with his bare hand and maybe should have gone with his glove, as he can't make a play on it. It'll be Kavanaugh's error as the runner is aboard. Scoreboard reads an E5, but Grant Lung wasn't even on that side of the field. Yet again, scoreboard.
Shortstop number 4, Cody Schultz.
One out base runner as we move to Cody Schultz. Schultz reached on an error off of Palmer Hutchison to start the game. Came around to score the first run of 9 for the Sox. Furniture will pump fake the runner back, and they'll say it's a balk. First balk of the season, and the runner's in scoring position. Jackson at second base. Furniture has now struck out 11 guys, and it's his first look at Cody Schultz, the shortstop. Firm takes a look at the second base runner and delivers a fastball for a called strike. He's really hitting the zone here, looking good on the mound. No balls, 1 strike, 1 away, a runner in scoring position in the top half of the 8th inning. Jacob Wyeth wants to check the runner at second. The throw pulls Grant Lung over to the opposite side of the field that he was on. The throw was a quick one. Could have maybe gotten the runner out, but good job from the LSU commit keeping the guy in check. Furniture from Omaha, Nebraska is a 5'10 sophomore. Made 5 appearances for the Blue Dragons this season, 18 in his first year, and gets a ground ball off his glove to Grant Lung, who fields it, grabs it, and throws it to Sean Cooper for out number 2.
Third baseman number 6, Trey Adams.
Tough game for the Larks. They have left 17 guys on and made 2 errors. Just tough, very, very tough to win when you do that. Larks are a very good defensive team. You might not think 2 errors would be a bad thing, and I don't think necessarily that it is a bad thing, but these Larks usually do not make errors, especially a guy like Matt Kavanaugh. Was a 2-time defensive player of the year and was in high school, and was a defensive player last year in the KCLB. Zach Furniture keeps that runner in scoring position and heads back to the dugout after a hitless inning. And we move to the bottom half of the 8th. Larks trailing by 5. Bottom of the 8th, leading off is Matt Kavanaugh. Moving in from shortstop to the mound is Cody Schultz. First delivery to Matt Cav misses 1-0. Larks have left 17 guys on base, have 9 hits. Drawing a lot of walks and reaching on a lot of errors. Kavanaugh pops this one up into center field. He has 5 plate appearances and he's been aboard 5 times, with 2 RBIs and a 1 run scored. His 3rd single. So we'll move to Sean Cooper, the first baseman, who has reached 4 times on a fielder's choice, 2 walks, and a single. Also drove in a run. So Larks again have a runner on board. This is their 5th time through the lineup, but they've only managed 4 runs. They will go through the orders, or will at least start the order through a 6th time, as we're in the 8th hole in the bottom of the 8th with nobody out and a runner on first. Second delivery to Cooper, low and inside, 2 balls and no strikes. Cody Schultz, another one of the Metro State guys for the Colorado Sox. He is a righty and he throws one low, 2-1 as it catches the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Schultz was a 2-time All-State when he played at Cherry Creek High School, but has allowed back-to-back hits. 1 off of Kavanaugh and 1 off of Cooper, and then not a wise throw trying to, I don't know what they were trying to do to get Matt Kavanaugh out at second base as he's already standing there. Could have resulted in runners in 2 in scoring position, but backing up the throw was barred. So now to Brock Loomis. Brock made a plate appearance last night and grounded out. Takes a swing at this one, can't make contact, 0-1. Cooper at first, Kavanaugh at second. Loomis, a Butler Community College commit. He steps out. His senior year of high school baseball canceled due to the coronavirus. Was the Diamond Classic Player of the Year last year, pretty much in a unanimous selection. Had a great tournament and a great junior year. Got some notice from schools. Committed to Butler his senior year. Quick mound visit between Schultz, Ackerman, and Cody Schultz. So there's actually Tyler Schultz on the mound, moving in from the DH spot. Delivers this one to Brock. It's low, 1-1. So this Schultz is a 2020 graduate, same as Brock Loomis. He committed to Metro State, however, unranked from Perfect Game. Stands at 5'11" and throws this one off the turf. One and 2 after that one. On deck is Leo Jeminian and the whole Grant Lung. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, nobody out in the 8th. Loomis takes an off speed above the letters, 2-2. Larks left the bases loaded in the last inning. The 4th time they've left the bases loaded. They have 11 hits. And they've given up 2 errors. Loomis, after being down the count, works his way into a full count and he'll get his first payoff pitch of the season. Brock's been a baseball player since I've known him. I've gone to school with him since 6th grade. He's always a great baseball player. I'm glad he's getting to continue it at the next level. And he works his way into a walk, has some good takes, and the bases are loaded for the 6th time in 9 innings. Metcalf at third base, Sean Cooper at second, Brock Loomis at first base, and we'll move to Leo Jeminian. Leo's 6th plate appearance, reached on an error to start the 8th, walked in the 5th, flew out in the 4th and the 2nd, then walked in the 1st. Larks down by 5, and the inside delivery is a ball. They have given up a lot of base runners that the Sox have, but they've done a good job of managing the situation. This one will get by Ackerman. Moving up from third base is Matt Cavanaugh. Advancing to second base is Brock Loomis, and to third base is Sean Cooper. Cavanaugh scores for the 2nd time today, and there's 2 on with nobody out, and they're both in scoring position. Larks down by 4. Tying run is on deck yet again. Two-0 delivery to Leo, almost takes his head off. He ducks out of the way, 3-0. He's been hit 4 times this season. 3 times were in that doubleheader against Pittsburgh, not Pittsburgh Pirates, the Colorado Pirates. But he has a 3-0 count, and for the 2nd time he steps completely out of the box when he's taken all the way, and this one's in the zone, 3-1. The 3-1 to Leo. He takes a cutout, swings under it. He has a full count now. Back-to-back full counts for the Larks. We'll get a payoff pitch, Schultz to Jeminian. And he is aboard with a walk. His third walk tonight. He's aboard for his 4th time. So now to Grant Lung, who has a single, 2 walks, a run scored, and a run driven in. And we'll get a mound visit as the tying run comes to the plate, and it's a dangerous hitter. And we'll take a quick pause as the Larks look to get a rally going here in the 8th. Grant Lung at the plate, bases loaded, nobody out, and he takes a strike 1 called off of Schultz. Movement in the pen for Hayes, it's a southpaw. The 0-1 to Lung, outside, 1-1. Grant's had a good eye tonight, has left some close ones, and they've all resulted in balls. One and one becomes 2-1. Lung takes another one outside. On deck is Wyatt Divis in the hole, Jacob Wyeth. Pen silent for the Sox. See if they try to ride Schultz all the way out. 2-1 becomes a hitter's count for the guy who leads the team in runs scored. Not a situation you want for the Sox, but for the Larks, I think you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable, but you're never comfortable down by 4, but you're confident what Grant can do at the plate. We'll see what he does here with a 3-1 count. It's a 5-pitch walk. It's RBI number 2 on the day as Sean Cooper scores for the first time. The Larks are down by 3. Still no outs. The bases are still loaded as we move to Wyatt Divis. Grant Lung just picked up walk number 3 on the night. That's the most from either team. Grant now has 17 walks this season. That is the team lead, passing Wyatt Divis. Excuse me, now he's tied with Wyatt Divis, as Divis picked up 1 in the 4th. RBI for Grant Lung, number 17 actually. He holds the team lead single-handedly, and run scored for Sean Cooper, number 13. 0-1 reads the scoreboard here on Wyatt Divis. Fans still sticking around late on a Sunday night. It's not quite 10 p.m. here in Hays, Kansas. A hard ground ball from Divis. They'll throw home, and they will get Brock Loomis, but the throw pulls Bard off the bag, and Divis is safe. There's 1 away. Heads up play from Adams at the corner.
Catcher number 27, Jacob Wyatt.
Bases loaded, 1 away as Divis reaches on a fielder's choice. We move to the cleanup hitter. Jacob Wyatt has a lot of power, has a hit tonight. Has 15 RBIs this season. Look to add to his total here. Takes 1 at the knees, the umpire says. And it's 0-1. We're just at about 3 hours into this game. Much different than when the Larks played Boulder for Game 3 of this series, and when the game was under 2 hours. 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away, bases loaded. It is Leo Jamidian at third, Grant Lung at second, and Wyatt Divis at first base. This delivery to Wyeth, high and inside, 2-1. Jacob has a walk, a single, a pop-up, a ground out, and then another pop-up, his 6th plate appearance. So coaches from colleges want their guys to get reps after the condensed season. They're certainly getting their reps tonight. He sends a line drive to left field. It will be caught by Manmano, but Jamidian will tag up. The throw is caught up by Cody Schultz, but Leo Jamidian scores, and the go-ahead run comes to the plate with 2 on and 2 out. Heads up base running for Leo Jamidian. He scores for the first time today, and picking up a sacrifice fly RBI is Jacob Wyatt. That's number 16 on the season. Leo just scored for the 18th time this season. That's second on the team behind Grant Lung. It's now to Jace Armstrong with 2 on and 2 out. Larks down by just 2 now. First delivery outside, 1-0. Jace has made 2 plate appearances. Struck out and was also hit by a pitch. Came in for Corbin Truslow, and he takes this one right down the pipe, 1-1. 7th hitter of the inning for Hays, and their 6th time through the order. This one way high as Ackerman had to stand up to keep Lung at second base. 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 away, runners on first and second. Divis on first, Lung at second, and Armstrong at the plate. The 2-1 almost takes off Armstrong's head. He stumbles out of the way, and he'll get into the box with a hitter's count, 3-1. Schultz struggling to hit the strike zone here in the 8th. Larks down by 2 in a 3-run 8th. They left 17 guys on, and there's 2 on right now with 2 outs. The 3-1 to Armstrong outside. He's aboard for the 2nd time today, and the bases are loaded, and the go-ahead run is at first base. Now we'll move to Cameron Pearson.
Number 17, and Pearson.
The Larks were down 9-2 in the bottom of the fifth. They made it a 9-3 game, and Pearson sends a soft dribbling ground ball to the pitcher, to Schultz, who tags home plate before Grant Lund can. And the Larks again leave 3 on base, and that'll end the 8th inning. Larks down by 2 after getting 3, and Bryce Baumler will go give some encouragement to Pearson, who's hanging his head over on the first base side. We'll move to the 9th inning. Larks down by 2. Hey Larks fans, click that subscribe button. It's completely free. This isn't like a magazine subscription or a TV subscription. You won't get billed, you won't get spam emails, but you will help us reach our goal. Right now we're at about 600 subscribers, but we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We have thousands of views from this season, but only 600 subscribers. Make sure to subscribe when you're watching if you haven't yet. When you hit that button, the Larks will show up in your subscription section of your account. That's it. No fees, no payments, no registration or information. Share the Larks YouTube page with your friends and tune into our broadcast. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel, supporting the team, and subscribing. The Larks have the best fans, and we're grateful for Larks Nation. Now, let's get back to the game. Top of the 9th. Larks down by 2. Leading it off is Nolan Ackerman for the Sox. Jacob Enns, the new pitcher, gets a quick strike 1 called on the catcher. Larks batted 9 guys in the 8th, managed 3 runs, and left 3 on. They have left 20 guys on base, and less 19 since Grant Lund was out at the plate. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out, nobody on in the top of the 9th. Duo for Hayes will be the bottom 3 in the order. Kavanaugh, Cooper, and who was Palmer Hutchinson is now Max McGuire. And they'll say he did not go after a delayed sign from the umpire. Jacob Enns on the mound, making his 7th appearance. All of them are in relief. Picked up a save on Thursday, his only one of the season. Has allowed 4 hits in 6 2/3 innings, has struck out 10 and only walked 5. Has an ERA of 1.4 and a whip of the exact same. 2-2 after this one misses the zone. The 2-2 from Jacob Enns, an off-speed breaking ball outside, full count. Jacob from Wichita, Kansas, played at Bishop Carroll, where he was the 2-time All-State pitcher, and he was in 2017 he was the 5A State Pitcher of the Year. He gets a strikeout, but the ball rolls to the dugout, or it was a ball and it rolled to the dugout. No sign from the umpire, so we'll say it's a ball. Runner aboard at first with nobody out. Enns Played for Fort Hays in his first year. This last year made 12 appearances, 11 in relief, ERA of 3.16, striking out 43 guys in 31 and a third innings. 1-0. Jacob has an opponent batting average of 182, one of a handful of Larks pitchers with an opponent batting average under 200. Gets a swing and a miss out of Hank Bard, the first baseman. Scoreboard reads a 1-1 count. Bard has a single and a double, a ground out and a strikeout on the day. Swings at this one. He's down the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Enns leans in, looks at Wyeth, gives him a nod, and then steps off the rubber. He'll lean back in. Wyeth gives him a sign, and Enns delivers. It's a slider outside, but reaching for it was Bard. A great pitch for Jacob Enns. Strikeout number 11 on the season for the southpaw from Fort Hays State University. Bard down on strikes for the second time today. The other one was from Drew Burr, who got the start in this game in what felt like a year ago. This game been a long one. So we're in the top of the 9th. 1 ball, no strikes, and a runner on first with 1 away. Owen Reynolds at the plate, 1 for 4 with a ground out, 2 strikeouts, and a single. One of 2 guys in the lineup for the Sox that don't have an RBI or a run scored. 1-1 and 1 away. Enns looks at the runner, delivers, and it's fouled back at the backstop, 1-2. Thanks to Wyatt Divis, Brady Rose, Zach Furniture, and now Jacob Enns, the Sox have been scoreless since the 4th inning. The 1-2 delivery from the southpaw misses the zone. The runner takes off. Wyeth has a throw that could have been in there on time, but it was slowed up by the turf, and the runner is in scoring position. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the center fielder from Metro State University. Enns goes from the stretch, and it's popped past the Sox dugout. We'll stay at 2-2 for pitch number 6 of this at-bat. The 2-2 again from Enns, off speed, and early on it was Reynolds. And we'll get a 7-pitch at-bat if this one runs into foul territory. Larks 12-4, tied for the lead with the Denver Cougars. In the Rocky Mountain Baseball League, the Sox are 5 games back. The 2's delivery from Wyeth, to Wyeth from Enns, is at the knees, and back-to-back strikeouts for Jacob Enns. Makes it 12 on the season, and there's 2 away.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Batting for Milano.
Now Jacob Kindhart, out at Northwestern College, played in yesterday's ball game, and is making his first plate appearance of the day here. Lefty versus lefty. Enns delivers one that breaks across the plate for a called strike. Same pitch, same result, called strike 2. That was a pretty one, had a lot of movement on it, pretty nasty. And Enns is 1 strike away from sending us to the bottom of the 9th. Time is called mid-delivery, and we'll stay at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. A runner on second with 2 away in the top of the 9th here from North Central Kansas. Delivery from Enns misses low and outside, 1-2. He looks in at Wyeth. Shakes off a sign, shakes off another one, agrees on number 3. Looks at Ackerman and delivers a swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts. Wyeth fields it off the turf, throws to Brock Loomis, the new first baseman, and that'll end the top of the 9th. Jacob Enns strikes out 3 for all 3 outs. That's 13 on the season. The Larks will be down to their final 3 outs, down by 2, looking to continue their rally in the bottom of the 9th. This is Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network.
What we do here is go back.
Leading off the bottom of the 9th for Hayes will be Matt Cavanaugh, who's been aboard all 5 plate appearances and takes one at the knees for a called strike 1. Larks down to their final 3 outs, down by 2. They scored 3 in the last inning and got 9 guys to come up to bat. They'll look to repeat their success here in the 9th. The 0-1 to Cavanaugh is inside and low. He swings and misses at it. No balls and 2 strikes. Back to the mound for inning number 2 is Tyler Schultz. On deck is Sean Cooper. In the hole is Brock Loomis. The 0-2 from Schultz to Cavanaugh is above the letters on a fastball, 1-2. Bottom of the 9th. Sox have been scoreless since the 4th, but by then they already had 9 runs. And the Larks have scored 3 in the 8th, none in the 7th, 1 in the 5th and the 6th, and then 2 in the 3rd. Cavanaugh is plunked, and he's aboard, leadoff base runner, and the tie run comes to the plate. So, good couple of experiences for Larks fans here in Larks Park in terms of tension, as this week Jacob Enns got a strikeout and the Larks are up in the top of the 9th with the bases loaded on a payoff pitch to end the game, and now the Larks have rallied and come back from a 9-2 deficit, and they're down by just 2, and there's nobody out and a runner on first. Sean Cooper takes strike one looking. Sean back to the box, has been aboard just like Matt Cavanaugh. All 5 plate appearances. He has an RBI and a run score. Runner on first, no balls, 1 strike. Schultz delivers to Cooper, and he sends it into the parking lot, 0-2. Back-to-back 0-2 counts for Hayes. Matt Cavanaugh was able to get aboard after getting hit. Let's see what Sean can do here. Sean started the game in right field, moved to first base, then Brock Loomis took over the first base duties. And now he's hitting in the bottom of the 9th. Swings and reaches at this one, and there is 1 away. Larks down to their final 2. So now we'll move to Brock Loomis in the bottom of the 9th. 1 away, runner on first.
Number 25, Brock Loomis.
Brock on the day walked on the payoff pitch in the last inning. Takes this one above the letters. Gotta think this is not a confidence from the Larks coaches. You got a guy who just graduated high school, or is going to graduate. He'll have his graduation ceremony in a couple of weeks, but didn't get to play in his senior year. Has been playing well for the Legion team, but played in high school all 3 years. Got a good amount of time behind the plate in his junior year. Swings and misses at this one, 2-1, but he's a young kid, bright future, but they're putting their trust in him. And I think that feels good for Brock Loomis. 2-1 is the count on the catcher, who's playing first base tonight and is headed to Butler Community College in August. Takes a late hack at this one. It's 2-2. That one was above the letters. He laid off for most of its trajectory home, but swung too late. 2-2, and Loomis takes it inside. He has back-to-back full counts in his 2 plate appearances today. Went 0 for 1 yesterday, coming in late. Matt Cavanaugh aboard at first base. Loomis at the plate, the payoff pitch, and they'll punch Loomis out on 6 pitches. A close one, tough one to lay off in this situation. And we'll move to the top of the order. Larks down to their final out.
Center fielder number 8, Leo Julian.
Larks have left 19 guys on base today, scoring 7. They're down to their final out to Leo Jiminian, making his 7th plate appearance as a walk, reaching on an error, another walk, and 2 flyouts. 0-1 is the count on the center fielder from Clarendon College. Two away, Tyler Schultz on the mound. He goes from the stretch. Leo thinks about turning on it, lays off. It misses the zone. 1-1. He was off Ackerman's glove. He moved to it quick to keep Cavanaugh at first base. Smart of Cavanaugh to stay at first. No point in trying to advance to second with 2 outs. Leo swings at one high above the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Larks down to their final strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Leo Jiminian at the plate. Schultz at the mound. He looks over his shoulder at Matt Cavanaugh and delivers to Leo. It's outside and low, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 1 on. Bottom of the 9th, Larks down by 2. Tying run is at the plate. Go ahead run is on deck, and it's Grant Lung. The 2-2 to Leo Jiminian. He fouls off, stays alive, took a hack at that one. We'll get a 6-pitch at bat. Two and 2 to Leo Jiminian will stay the count. Leo's been aboard 4 times tonight. Grounds this one to Adams in the third base spot. Throws across the diamond. and they'll apply a hard tag on Dominion as the Sox celebrate on Larks Park Field. They have a losing record now of 8-9. Larks fall to 12-5 on the season.
Final score of tonight's game, the Colorado Sox 9 and the Hayes Larks 7. Total for the game, 9 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Colorado, 7 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Hayes.
So Larks fall to 12-5 on the season.
Winning pitcher for tonight was Patrick Kennedy. Andrew Bird takes the loss. Larks are next scheduled to be in action on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, taking on the NoCo Roughnecks. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for your attendance at tonight's game.
Larks
and
fall
please drive
to
safely.
12-5 on the season. Their 6-game win streak is snapped. Sox now 8-9. Larks were tied with the Cougars for the Rocky Mountain Baseball League lead. We'll see. No word from Denver how they're doing tonight or if they even played. But the Larks will likely see that lead slip, and the Sox now are 4.5 games back against the Cougars. So that'll do it here from Hayes, Kansas. Larks will get Monday off tomorrow night. This includes a 2-game series against the Sox. The Larks are now 1-3 on the season against the Sox, losing both of them in Colorado and this one here tonight in Hayes. They'll be off tomorrow, and then we'll know tomorrow about whether we'll play Tuesday and Wednesday against a team as the Roughnecks season is over. We were supposed to play them, but that will conclude tonight. So we won't see tomorrow. If the next game, if these two on Tuesday and Wednesday are canceled, we'll next play on Thursday against the Game Day Saints in Colorado. But we will get word. Stay tuned to the Larks social media on Twitter and Facebook for updates on whether there will be games. But that'll do for Hayes. Drew Bird now 1-3 on the season. Larks lose at 9-7 from Larks Park. This has been Carson Ackerman on the call. You're tuned in to Larks Network. Thank you for tuning in.